All right, great. It looks like our participant count is going up. Give people just a couple more seconds to jump in here. Great. All right, well, I'm going to get started. Welcome everyone to the St. Ignatius College Prep College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but all will be around for the entire session to answer your questions. My name is Chelsea and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you, but you can use that Q&A button on your screen to type questions to them at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Ignatius. And I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, and that's going to be Georgetown University.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, perfect. So hello, everyone, and welcome. So my name is Jenna Myers. I'm an assistant director here at Georgetown and work with applicants from Illinois. So welcome to Washington, D.C. This is Georgetown University. We were founded in 1789, which makes us the oldest Catholic and Jesuit institution within the United States. Now, our university's founder, John Carroll, was the first Catholic bishop in the United States and came from a prominent family of early American patriots. Pluralistic from its beginnings, Georgetown was the first American university to expressly be open to students of all religious beliefs. Now, we maintain a commitment to this pluralism today, welcoming students from all 50 states and over 130 different countries to join 3 distinct communities and make up the Georgetown experience. So the first is the traditional residential campus, which is a compact 110 acres, almost which all of our students live and study. The campus truly becomes home for 4 years and a familiar place to return to well after graduation. Woven deep into the fabric of our community, its commitment to social justice, interreligious dialogue, and the belief that men and women should live their lives in service to others. In keeping with that ideal, students are often taking advantage of the countless volunteer opportunities found within our Center for Social Justice. Now, inside the classroom, students are learning from some of the world's most influential figures. Our faculty are really committed to teaching undergraduates and truly leaders in their fields who are also deeply involved in their academics, or they are experienced practitioners. Georgetown's second community is the neighborhood itself, which immediately surrounds the campus, the historic neighborhood of Georgetown. The charming area spans about 12 blocks outside our front gates, and it can really be defined by the federalistic style architecture, brick sidewalks, cobblestone streets. Now, in addition to the charming neighborhood and the vibrant campus community, the third community that our students join is the District of Washington, D.C. So given our proximity to the heart of the city, students easily take advantage of the vast laboratory that is DC, including the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, national monuments, Smithsonian museums, Roosevelt Island, and 3 international airports. Not only is Washington the nation's capital and an international political hub, but it's also a major cultural center with offerings to tempt any student or visiting parent. Now, these 3 communities give Georgetown students an ideal blend of campus life and city exposure. So living and studying in Washington, D.C. provides Georgetown students with a front seat to history, whether it's heading downtown for a rally, witnessing democracy in action, or seeing an inauguration for the first time. Georgetown students really take advantage of all that D.C. has to offer. Hoyas also prepare themselves for life after graduation by putting their academic knowledge to practical use through a deep pool of internships and research opportunities in and around the city. Now, between interning on Capitol Hill at businesses or startups to Fortune 500 companies or the National Institutes of Health, students can really explore their diverse interests all year. And international experiences are also abundant and popular with Georgetown students. Students can join an international institution through one of our direct matriculation programs, or perhaps our Georgetown-owned villa located in the Tuscan Hills just outside of Florence, Italy, featured on the top right of the screen. Now, all undergraduate students will apply and enroll directly into one of our 4 undergraduate schools. Georgetown College is our largest and oldest of the 4 undergraduate schools. Then we have the School of Nursing and Health Studies, the Walsh School of Foreign Service, which is one of the largest foreign service schools in the country and predates the US Foreign Service by about 5 years. And then finally, the McDonough School of Business, which at its core is a liberal arts education, but with a focus on the business fundamentals. And then we are planning to split our School of Nursing and Health Studies into 2 schools, but not adding or removing any of our current majors. Now, these 4 undergraduate schools act as academic homes for our students, but everyone comes together as one Georgetown community. Now, it's important to note that no walls exist between the 4 schools, and our admissions rates are very similar between them. Our supplement will ask students to respond to an essay prompt based on the school to which you're applying into. And we understand that some students are still unsure of their academic plans, and we encourage such students to consider applying to the school that best matches their current interests, or you can apply undecided into Georgetown College. Now, Georgetown does use its own application, meaning we are not a school found on the Common Application or Coalition application, and our application usually opens up in the first week of June every single year. Students will submit their application, their supplement, and other supporting documents by one of our 2 deadlines. November 1st for early action, which is non-binding, or they can apply January 10th, which is for regular decision. And we do have a holistic review process and always review the applicant within the context of their own high school and their own circumstances. Now, regardless of major, students will enjoy the benefits of small classes, excellent academic advising, and committed faculty. Now, a running thread throughout the history of academic excellence is a commitment to our values. The core values of our entire university, from administrators, faculty, staff, is really grounded in our Jesuit identity. And in particular, Georgetown embraces 2 Jesuit principles that serve as guideposts for our community. Those Jesuit principles of being men and women in service for others, and cura personalis, care for the entire person. And when our students graduate from Georgetown, they do so into a community that truly lasts a lifetime, taking them outstanding preparation. Now, this is a very brief look at what Georgetown has to offer. Encourage you to check out our virtual information sessions, also our on-campus information sessions and tours. With that, I want to thank everyone and turn it back over.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have Syracuse University.
Fantastic. Thank you. So my name is April Lynch. I am an associate director of admission here with Syracuse, and I'm actually Chicago regional. So I live in this area and work with all of the students in the greater Chicago and Illinois. Thank you for joining us today. I am so excited to share a little bit about Syracuse with you. So we have about 15,000 undergrad students, a few thousand grad students on campus. They are bold, they're passionate, they're committed in the classroom, on campus, and in our community. They're just such a vibrant part of it. So at Syracuse, what I really love is that you can customize your education and you can gain real world experience from industry leaders that visit our campus every day. Now, because you're not able to visit, I would love to just start by giving you just a sense of where we're at in the world. We're located in upstate New York. It's a 2-hour direct flight out of O'Hare or Midway, and the Amtrak that runs out of Union Station goes right there as well. So very easy to get to. Campus itself, we're located atop a hill overlooking the city of Syracuse. It's a mid-sized city. It provides many opportunities for students to have internships, volunteer activities, many within walking distance of campus, not to mention all the traditional amenities you're used to: restaurants, dining, museums, theaters. We'd love to get outdoors, whether that is hiking nearby or in the Adirondacks, visiting apple orchards, going skiing, you name it, we do it. Now, we'd love to talk about how to round out your learning, customize your experience here at Syracuse through one of our many academic programs. We have over 200 majors and 100 minors for students to choose from across many different academic colleges. Taking courses in other disciplines is possible and encouraged. We want you to explore. We want you to try things out. Examples are our School of Architecture students. Many of them take classes in real estate, or students in our arts department take entrepreneurship classes, engineering students take music classes. You find your passions and you continue exploring. And mentioning exploring, if you are still exploring, we would love to help you with that. You don't have to know a major to start off with as you come into Syracuse. We have plenty of people who will help support you along the way in your discovery of the area that you'd like to get into. Many of our programs are ranked in the top 25, and I would love to share more of that later with you. But what I love here is that we are just so hands-on at Syracuse. We participate in cutting-edge research. We are in the top tier research institution, so we are a research one. Undergraduate students are encouraged to join research teams. You're able to dive right in and do that. If you have your own idea, you're able to do that and have your own research projects that you pitch. You can get funded to do it. It's through our office called The Source. That's the Office of Undergraduate Research. We also have an amazing study abroad program. We have one of the oldest programs in the country. You can go for a semester, for a term, for a year. We're pretty flexible. We have 5 different campuses: London, Madrid, Florence, Strasbourg, and Santiago. You can also do full immersion at over 100 other places around the world, whatever works for you. In addition to those, we also have 3 other campuses here in the US. So main campuses in Syracuse, we have a campus in New York City, Washington, DC, and LA. Now, we would love for you to get involved here at Syracuse. We have such a fantastic community. They're residential, they stay on campus, they're active, they're engaged, they're constantly meeting new people and having new activities. We have over 300 clubs, athletics, and organizations that you can participate in as you build your skill set, leadership, whatever you're kind of interested in doing. We also have the Barnes Center at the Arch, which is our health and wellness center. It is a state-of-the-art facility that supports the whole student, mind, body, and spirit as you go on your journey. And our Shine Student Center was recently renovated to include more things that students found they needed in a campus experience. Now, we have 2 decision plans here at Syracuse. First is early decision. This is a binding agreement. You commit to us if you apply this way and you're accepted into your first choice major. That's due on November 15th. The benefit of an early decision application is that you kind of stand out, right? Your application will stand out because you're ready to commit earlier. You get a decision earlier, so that's a benefit to you. If you're not admitted into your first choice major, we will not consider it binding. You have until May 1st to make that decision. Now, regular decision is how a lot of our students apply, and that is due on January 1st. The things that we will look at as you're applying, we are a member of the Common Application, so we use that. There will be an essay on there, a short answer question. We ask for your high school transcripts, your test scores, 2 academic letters of recommendation, and a counselor letter. There may be some extras. So if you're looking at the School of Architecture, they'll require a portfolio. If you're going into the School of Music or music theater, acting, there'll be visual arts, portfolios, auditions, things like that. We have it all laid out on our website, and I am of course happy to help you with that as well. We have just announced that we are test optional for this year's juniors. So congratulations. We are excited to announce that to students. And then as far as financial aid, we strive to meet demonstrated financial aid through merit-based scholarships, grants, loans, employment opportunities. Last year, about 76% of students received financial aid through Syracuse and these other avenues, and about $282 million was awarded by Syracuse in these forms. Please fill out the FAFSA and submit the CSS profile as part of that process to be considered fully for all of these things. So that was my really quick spiel on Syracuse. I would love to chat with you at another time, and I am going to pop my information into the chat box so that you can gain it whenever you need it. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have the University of Rochester.
Yes, hello everyone. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm just going to quickly share my screen. So my name is Kathleen Papala. Like April, I am regionally based here in the Chicago area. I'm the Regional Director of Admissions for the University of Rochester. Really excited to have a chance to chat with you and give you a real quick crash course in who we are and what we do. The first hurdle we always have is that Rochester, New York is not a place that a lot of people are familiar with. So kind of getting to the heart of our location is important. I hear from a lot of students that say, oh, I love New York City, and I think so do I, but we're about 6 hours away from there. We are very much in Western New York. So we're about 6 hours by car from New York City and Boston, about the same distance from Philadelphia. It is a quick 48-minute flight from O'Hare right into the Frederick Douglass Airport in Rochester, and campus is only about 2 miles from the airport. So really accessible. We are sort of near that Finger Lakes region. So if you like to ski or hike or do any of those great outdoor activities, we've got all of that right there for you. But we are in a city. So the city of Rochester is a medium-sized city with just over 1 million full-time residents. The university has 5,600 full-time undergraduate students representing all 50 states and 127 different countries. I think what makes our student population really special is that about 32% of our undergraduates are actually international students who come to us from all over the world. It really does lend itself to a very diverse, interesting, eclectic community that our students can live and learn on. We are a residential campus. We're located about 2 miles from downtown Rochester, and it is residential. So housing is not guaranteed for 4 years, but 85% of our students do choose to stay on campus for all 4 years. So not a commuter school, not a place where you're going to have to find housing after your first year. The city of Rochester is a cool city. It's a college town. There's 6 colleges and universities in the city of Rochester. And so there's a lot of young people. And with that comes all those great things that young people like: great restaurants and coffee shops and art galleries, live music venues, great access to internships and research opportunities. So while it might not be a large city like a Chicago, it does have its own heartbeat and its own opportunity for you. For those of you who might be interested in music, we do have the Eastman School of Music, our conservatory program, which is located not on our main campus, but a little bit closer to downtown Rochester. There's a free shuttle that gets you in and around the entire city, and including to Eastman. And we do have our own medical center. So for those of you who are interested in nursing, pre-med, dentistry, anything like that, medical research, we have our comprehensive medical campus right across the street from the River campus. So great access for, again, doctor shadowing, research, medical internships, anything like that that might interest you. So as I mentioned, we're a medium-sized school, 5,600 full-time undergraduates, about 11,000 if you were to include our graduate and professional degree students. But our classes are really small. Our average class size is about 19 students. We really want to foster that relationship between our students and their faculty members. All of our classes are taught by full faculty, who are all researchers in their own right as well. So these are not just people who can teach you great things in the classroom, but they're amazing researchers who can show you how to do things outside of the classroom as well. We have a great study abroad program, 40 locations, 40 countries that we have 70 locations at. So lots of opportunity for you to get out in the world and see it and explore it, which I think is really, really important for our students as well. What does make the University of Rochester unique is that, unlike many schools, we don't have a core or general education requirement. In fact, there are no required subjects at the University of Rochester. So if you're a student who's sitting here thinking, when I leave St. Ignatius, I am never taking another fill in the blank, math, English, history, foreign language, whatever that might be, you don't have to. You come to the University of Rochester and you focus on the things that you love. You study what you love, which means that you don't have to study the things that you don't love. It really allows you to formulate your own academic path, your own academic interests. It allows you to decide how broadly and deeply you go into your own academic interests. So over 85% of our students will major and minor. Nearly 60% of our students will end up with a double major. So you might come to us liking a lot of different things, and that's okay. We're going to be able to give you the opportunity and the flexibility to explore all of that. So while that classroom experience is important, like I mentioned, we really want to make sure we're teaching you how to do things as well. And so that hands-on experiential opportunity is vitally important. We are also a R1 or a tier 1 research institution. In fact, we are one of the smallest. The average size of an R1 school is about 26,000 students. So the fact that we're much smaller really means that we're able to funnel more of that opportunity and funding and resources to the students who want research. And as you can see, about 77% of our students will take advantage of that opportunity. So again, we want to make sure that you're not just learning a lot, but you're doing a lot in and outside of the classroom. The dirty little secret no one tells you about college is that more than 50% of your time is actually spent outside of the classroom and outside of the academic settings. We want to make sure that we're giving you the opportunities to have a good life in college as well. And so we have over 300 clubs and organizations. We are a Division III athletic program. So if you have dreams of following your basketball team in March Madness, unfortunately, Rochester is not that place, but we have a lot of school spirit around our athletic program. The arts are really popular at Rochester. We have 18 different dance troops, 6 a cappella groups, a thriving theater program, really anything that you want to do. We do have a Greek system on campus as well. About 20% of our students are part of a fraternity or sorority. So really what we just want to make sure is that you have the opportunity to engage in the things that are important to you, whether that be service or debate, music, the arts, student government, social activism, and also the opportunity to pursue things that maybe you don't know that you like just yet. That's kind of what the good part about college is, that you get to try all those new things. So lastly, I do want to talk a little bit about our application process. If you're going to screenshot anything that I've talked about, do it with this slide. We are a university that's on both the common application and coalition application. We are a holistic review process, and our core values of equity, leadership, integrity, respect, openness, accountability. Those are really things that we want to try and find in our applicants and in those students that we're going to bring onto our campus. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Feel free to put some questions in the Q&A if you'd like, and enjoy the rest of the presentations. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. All right, next up we have the Catholic University of America.
Sorry, just getting my share going here. Hello, thanks for joining us. My name is Sarah Cronin. I'm Associate Dean of Admission at Catholic University. My colleague Kimberly Clark is our Chicago regional representative, and she lives in the Chicago area, and she had another program tonight, so I get to spend the evening with you. Catholic University, we are also located in Washington, D.C., and we are the second oldest graduate research university in the country. We're also the only U.S. higher education institution in the U.S. Founded by the Catholic bishops. So we are not Dominican or Franciscan or Jesuit. We are founded by the U.S. bishops and encompass many different parts of the Catholic faith on our campus. We have a number of different research centers on campus. We're very much a residential campus community. We actually have the largest campus in Washington and the largest green space in Washington after the National Mall. We have 3,100 undergraduate students at Catholic University and just under 3,000 graduate students as well. About 80% of our students do identify as Catholic, and a small class size of average of 19. So again, faculty are getting to know our students, and our students are getting to know faculty, and creating that connection and resources between faculty and students. The university is, as I mentioned, located in DC. We're on the east side of the city. And with that and our own self-contained campus, there are a number of ways in which our students are engaged on campus, over 100 different clubs and organizations. We are Division III, 25 different Division III sports for men and women, but also club sports and intramural sports, and 2 different fitness centers on campus. But just as importantly, given our core values, the commitment to community service and social justice is strong at Catholic University. And so a number of our students are involved, not just in athletics, but also in community service, not just in academic clubs, but also in social justice initiatives. And as you can see here, over 40 to 50 different activities every week that keep our students busy in many of these different activities outside of the classroom, athletics, academic clubs, and all of those. We are on the east side of Washington. So we are in the Brookland neighborhood of Washington. And of all the universities in DC, only 2 have their own metro stops on campus, and we are one of them. So we love to talk about that because it gives our students access. We're on the red line. It's the Brooklyn COA metro stop. And with that access, DC, as you heard earlier, offers students amazing opportunities in culture and history and music and sports. Our students hop on the red line and head right downtown for all these activities, but also as importantly to internships. Our students are engaged in over 3,000 different internship opportunities throughout the greater DC area, and also into certainly Maryland and Virginia. We have an office on campus that was redesigned about 4 years ago, and it's now called the Center for Academic and Career Success. And that office combined academic advising and career services and put them in the same place. And that resource provides our students great connections to exploring majors, developing interest in double majoring perhaps, exploring minors and our other certificate programs at the university, and then certainly moving on into internships, and then obviously career resources and career searching post-graduation. Our engineering majors intern at NASA, our econ majors intern at the Treasury Department, our business majors intern in private sector and public sector, so many opportunities that DC has to offer throughout different sectors and different fields. In terms of academics, we have 12 schools at the university, 9 of which are focused in undergraduate studies. Our School of Arts and Sciences is our largest. Our Bush School of Business is our fastest growing school. Our Conway School of Nursing is one of the more competitive schools at the university, but you can see a number of different opportunities here in our schools. Students can study across different majors and across different schools at the university. So we have double majors in business and music, students who are double majoring in engineering and architecture, and students can major and minor throughout the university in different schools, except the Conway School of Nursing, that's its own entity, but all other schools, students can cross between with majors and minors. We have over 70 different undergraduate majors, 60 minors, different professional programs, and a first-year experience for all freshmen on campus, and a class size of no more than 18 students, in which students really get to know each other and get to know their faculty and have a great foundation as they begin their freshman year and go out beyond at Catholic U. Student How to Study Abroad offers many opportunities. We have our own campus in Rome, and certainly post this crazy COVID era, we have more students jumping back into the study abroad opportunity. So our campus in Rome is our own faculty, our own students, our own facilities, but also great opportunity across the globe to study, and more of our students are engaging in that over this semester and moving forward. In terms of the application, we have moved test-free, so we will not look at any test scores in terms of the admission process. So we review very closely the academics, your courses, your strength of curriculum, but also as importantly, activities, service, leadership, all those things are important to us. We'll look very closely at your academic transcript and high school coursework, but all those other components. And it does not cost anything to apply to Catholic University. So in terms of equity and access, we've removed those barriers. So we've removed testing as a requirement or anything that we look at. And we've also removed our application fee. And finally, in connecting with us, there's a QR code. You can grab that if you want to get right to our website. We have different opportunities to get to know the university through visits on campus, interviews either in person or virtually with, again, my colleague Kimberly Clark in Chicago. And then we do have our fall open houses for next fall 2022 established in September 17th or October 15th. And we welcome students and visits to campus to take a closer look at us and get to know the university. That's it for Catholic University. Thank you for taking the time. Any questions along the way, I'm happy to share. And I will put my colleague Kimberly Clark's information up in the chat, and you can reach out to her anytime. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Alrighty, next up, we have the University of Michigan.
All right, thank you so much. And hello, St. Ignatius students and families. My name is Megan Lakatis, and I serve as the Illinois Regional Admissions Recruitment Coordinator within the U of M's Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I am also an alumna of the university. I study communications within the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts. So today I'm excited to share some information with you about the University of Michigan from both the admissions and alumni perspective. I will be sure to share some links in the chat after my presentation today. To begin today's overview of the university, I would first like to acknowledge that U of M resides on the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary lands of the Anishinaabe people. In 1817, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations made the largest single land transfer to the University of Michigan, ceded through the Treaty of Fort Meigs so that their children could be educated. We acknowledge the history of Native displacement that allowed the University of Michigan to be founded, and today we reaffirm contemporary and ancestral Anishinaabe ties to this land, as well as the profound contributions to this institution. Beyond these words, we are proud to offer multiple resources for our Native students, including the Michigan Native American Tuition Waiver and the annual Dance to Mother Earth powwow that takes place on campus, and it's actually taking place this weekend. Today, Ann Arbor provides students with that quintessential college town experience, including over 300 restaurants to explore, NCAA Division I Big Ten athletic events to attend. Our men's basketball team and women's basketball teams are advancing within the finals currently. and a variety of art and cultural celebrations, all while being surrounded by the campus's natural beauty. Ann Arbor is a mid-sized college town located in Southeast Michigan. It's about a 4.5 to 5 hour drive away from Chicagoland, so it's not too far away. And there's a reason that Ann Arbor is consistently ranked as one of the best college towns in the nation, best places to live, and most intelligent cities in the nation. There's always something new to do and something new to explore on our campus. But what really sets apart the Michigan undergraduate experience is our incredible undergraduate student body of over 30,000 undergraduate students. So at Michigan, your classmates will hail from all 50 states and over 120 different countries. And as you can see, Illinois is consistently ranked as one of the most popular states for undergraduate students to hail from. Beyond geographic diversity, though, our students identify with a diversity of backgrounds, religions, races, cultures, and educational interests. In fact, about 14% of our students identify as the first in their family to attend college. 19% of our students are Pell eligible. 27% of our students self-identify as students of color, and 17% of our students identify as part of the LGBTQ+ community. Valuing and supporting the unique and diverse experiences of our students is really at the heart of what it means to be a Michigan Wolverine. And at U of M, we acknowledge the active role our university must play in the conversation around addressing and combating racial and systemic injustices and in forging a path towards positive change. We recognize that U of M is still a majority white institution, but we have an ongoing focus spearheaded by our DEI office on improving our campus climate of diversity to be supportive of all. At Michigan, we truly believe that our vibrant campus community, coupled with the opportunity to work and live and learn alongside others from all different backgrounds, will enhance your Michigan education, preparing you to work and live and collaborate with others for a lifetime to come. So our students, when they come to campus, they have a variety of undergraduate opportunities to pursue. We offer over 280 undergraduate degrees, 70% of which are ranked in the top 10 nationally, 90% of which are ranked in the top 20. So whatever you're thinking about studying, whether you're a student who knows exactly the path that you'd like to take, or you want to keep your options open and flexible, Michigan's going to have highly regarded undergraduate experiences available to you. Many popular majors include pre-med or pre-law pathways, the College of Engineering, the Ross Bachelor's of Business Administration program, nursing, musical theater, political science, computer science, and so much more. Many students are also very pleasantly surprised to find that although we're a big school, our student to faculty ratio is just 15:1, and only about 7% of our classes have 100 or more students with them. So that means plenty of opportunities to engage with your faculty in and out of the classroom. Now, outside of the classroom, students participate in a robust array of extracurricular activities. We offer over 1,600 different student organizations like the Michigan Daily, Future Black Healthcare Professionals, La Casa, Dance Marathon, Student Government, or Fraternity and Sorority Life. With over 1,600 different groups and clubs, there's going to be something for everyone on our campus. U of M is also recognized as the #1 public research institution in the United States, and over 1,300 of our undergraduate students engage in research every year. You can also start research as early as your first year on campus. And then becoming a U of M student really does unlock a lifetime of potential that stays with you well beyond your years in Ann Arbor as you join an alumni body of over 630,000 living alumni around the world. This really provides a unique and valuable personal and professional network for our Michigan graduates, and this community is at the heart of the Michigan experience. As we approach the college application process, and we'll talk about that on the next slide in just a moment, we really are looking for emerging leaders who want to create positive change in their communities and bring innovative ideas from their own diverse experiences and backgrounds. To do so, we conduct a holistic review of your entire application to get to know the whole you. And as your U of M admissions counselor, I would be one of multiple different people to actually review your application in this process. In this review, we consider your academic strengths and the rigor of your curriculum, extracurricular involvement that shows you will positively contribute to the U of M campus community. We only ask for one teacher's letter of recommendation, and then we do have several essays that provide you with a chance to give us insight to the person that you are and why you're interested in attending Michigan. Doing your research and providing specific examples about why a Michigan education is the right fit for you is very, very important. Just quickly want to highlight that we have 2 application deadlines. The first is our November 1st early action deadline, and then February 1st for regular decision. If you are interested in learning more about Michigan, you're welcome to scan that QR code. I'll also drop a link in the chat. We are hosting on-campus tours now, but you're also welcome to join us virtually for a virtual information session and virtual live Q&A. Thank you all. Have a great day and go blue.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, and now we have Wake Forest University.
Good evening, folks. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight, for joining us. Thank you for my presenters for being patient with me, experiencing some technical difficulties, but hopefully those won't get in the way of presenting to you all our wonderful university. So yes, I'll be here introducing Wake Forest University to you all. Wake Forest is a small private liberal arts institution located in North Carolina. So this right here is a pretty comprehensive map of campus. What you see is what you get. And so you're definitely able to you're definitely able to walk across campus, get to from point A to point B pretty quickly, pretty easily. And so it's a place that feels incredibly approachable to our students. It's a place where you feel at home. And that's highlighted through kind of how we go through our philosophies, which I'll kind of introduce you all as I go along. Excuse me, a little flustered, as you can see, with the tech issues. Winston-Salem itself is a small town in North Carolina. We have about 250,000 people. A lot of folks really love coming to Winston-Salem because it's not too big, not too small, really feels like the Goldilocks kind of size. So you come to a school that's located in a wonderful place that offers so many opportunities for our students, whether that be things like minor league baseball, international film festivals, tons and tons of coffee shops throughout the city. We have an extension of campus that resides in downtown Winston-Salem. So our students aren't just coming to Wake Forest, but they're also entering a community that kind of shoots them into another community. And so you find that you're in so many different spaces, so many different places, interacting with so many different people. Talk a little bit about the academics that you would find at Wake Forest University. Being a liberal arts institution, I know that that's something that a lot of schools will share, a lot of folks will throw out. What does that mean for Wake Forest? So being a liberal arts school at Wake just means that we love to provide an incredibly well-rounded curriculum to our students. Our students are able to critically think about kind of all aspects of academics instead of just being able to pull from one specific major or minor. So you'll notice that we have about 45 majors and 60 minors available at Wake. The average class size at Wake tends to be about 20 students. And that's kind of those bigger courses. The more advanced you get within a major, so the higher ranking classes that you'll take, those classes will actually have an average of about 15 students in them. My smallest class at Wake, I should share, I'm an alumnus, so I graduated from Wake Forest in 2019, currently an assistant dean in the office. My smallest class at Wake was actually only 4 students. It was myself, 3 other students, and then my professor that was kind of leading us through research. And so you'll find that you also have that 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. It's incredibly easy to have access to professors at Wake Forest. All it takes is raising your hand, being a participant in the classroom. You'll find that you're even able to do things like have dinner at professor's house, have breakfast at the provost's house, have lunch at the president's house. It's a place where all avenues are open. And so you never feel like you're kind of having to talk up to somebody who's talking down to you, no matter where they might fall sort of in the hierarchy of being a president, provost, professor, RA, dining hall individual or a worker. And so it's really easy to get to know people across campus. We do have courses that are required for our students that are called the divisionals. There are 5 divisions and 8 classes in total that kind of fall into that, but you sort of take those throughout your 4 years. And it's pretty simple just to take one a semester until you graduate. Wake Forest is also a huge research institution. 100% of our teaching faculty is actually required to do research in order to teach at the school. And so you'll find that it's super easy to shoot yourself into research. I would say a little over 2/3 of our students are doing research, whether that be independently or with a professor. And it's something that they can start as soon as their freshman year or as late as their senior year. There aren't any barriers. Students in STEM can do research, students in the arts can do research. So everyone kind of has that access and that ability. Study abroad is also something that's incredibly important to Wake Forest, even though we're kind of transitioning through this COVID period. It's still something that's really important to us. Generally speaking, we have about 75% of our student body will have gone abroad by the time we graduate. We're also a big community, so traditions are incredibly important at Wake. My favorite tradition at Wake Forest is called Pitsgiving. It's just the Friendsgiving equivalent that we have in the main dining hall that's known as the Pit. You're able to celebrate with all your friends. And so you'll find that throughout our 230 student organizations, it's incredibly easy to build that community. We're also a D1 institution, so we have the sports teams that you can follow, the football team that's making it to bowl games, the basketball teams that are winning, ACC Coach of the Year, ACC Player of the Year. We have our women's doubles tennis team that just won the national championship this fall. And so incredibly awesome to go to the sporting events for free, excuse me, my alarm, with your student ID. And lastly, kind of getting into the application process, Wake Forest is test optional. We have been for over 13 years now. So we're not a school that kind of picked it up with COVID and that might drop it here in the near future. It's something that we've committed to. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing your test scores, you don't have to. We tell students to share those if they feel like they reflect the student you are in the classroom. If it's something you want to keep to yourself, by all means, please feel free to do so. We also have an optional interview process by which students can share a little bit more about themselves, but we also have an opportunity for students to submit a self-recorded video where they get to share a little bit more about themselves. Maybe you don't feel as comfortable in a one-on-one interview, but you still want to share your voice. You're able to do that video submission. But if you do feel comfortable in that one-on-one interview, you're able to request those. This last year, we opened up that opportunity in early August alongside our applications. And so students can kind of start looking towards that. I will share, we haven't finalized exactly when the dates might be for this upcoming year, but generally early August is when you might kind of want to pay a little bit of attention to when you might think about interviewing, coming to campus. We do kind of keep a little bit of track of demonstrated interest, but this doesn't mean that you have to come to campus in order to be interested in Wake Forest. You can, demonstrate interest by, for example, scanning this QR code and getting on our mailing list, or, shooting us an email. I am not the representative for the state of Chicago. However, I will share their information in the chat, but I appreciate you all bearing with me, and hopefully we'll get to some of this Q&A. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Alrighty, so I am now going to ask everyone to jump back on screen if you don't mind. We have a couple more minutes, so I'd like to hear from everybody one more time. So I'm going to pose a question and we'll go around in the same order that we presented in. So what advice would you give someone going through the college search process right now? And we'll jump back to, let's see who started here for us, Georgetown.
I think one big piece of advice I always give students is just keep an open mind. There's, so many fantastic institutions all around the United States, all across the globe. You got to hear from all of these really incredible institutions today, and you've learned a lot, and maybe you picked up some, new locations or new majors. So, I just think keeping an open mind is the best thing possible, and you're going to find that right fit school for you.
Thank you so much. Syracuse University.
Great, thanks. So my favorite piece of advice to give students and families is to be organized. Create a shared Google Sheet where you can track each college and university you're looking at, the contact people there, due dates, why you're looking at them, interested in them. And then as you go through, you can kind of knock them off or check mark the things that you've done, and everyone's on the same page as to where you're at in the process.
Thank you so much. All right, University of Rochester.
I think mine honestly is just to take a deep breath a little bit. I think especially after the past several years that we've all had, and the chaos and uncertainty, and there's been lost experiences and opportunities that you've had to endure. Understand that we understand that. I think first and foremost, we're not expecting perfection. We're not expecting you to have done all the things that maybe you could have done outside of a pandemic, but really just understanding that we understand that, and that we are going to give a lot of grace and a lot of compassion to you and to your application during this time.
Awesome, thank you so much. Catholic University of America, what is your advice?
I would also suggest use your resources. Your school guidance office is a great resource, and so are we. We're in this job because we love to talk to students. We love to share information. We enjoy speaking with parents. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if there's questions or navigating certain things or clarifying deadlines. We are here as your resource. So use us and use the resources around you, including your school guidance office.
Great advice. Thank you. University of Michigan.
Yeah, I agree with everything that has been shared so far. And I would also say, before even beginning this process, celebrate the fact that you are going into your senior years very soon, that you are looking at colleges, you're thinking about continuing your education, and think about what that really means to you as you take this next step. The more that you know yourself and the more that you are able to articulate why you want to go to college in the first place, the better that we'll get to know you as we review your applications too. So have fun and celebrate this great accomplishment.
It's wonderful. Thank you. And Wake Forest.
Yes, thank you. No, some amazing points have been made. I think if I had to come with something new, I would say just be yourself. A lot of students really get caught up in trying to see, how can I be unique? How can I stand out from that person that comes before me or after me as you're reading applications? And to be fair, there's only one Cesar Griswold is out there. There's only one of you out there. So if you're really focusing on those experiences and those identities, then you're going to find that your application will naturally stand out. And then one more thing is, yeah, always keep track of what the school you're looking at requires, right? Some schools might be SAT and ACT optional, some might not. Some might be, have early action, some might not, some might have early decisions. So it's always important to note that, because you don't want to assume and then maybe want to backtrack later on.
Yes, all great things. Thank you all very, very much. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up here for us. So big thank you to our presenters for bringing all this information together and spending time with us this evening. Thank you to our participants as well for being with us. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions. Yippee. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other recordings at strivecn.com/Ignatius. And with that, we are concluding the evening. So thank you so much and have a good one. Bye-bye.